looking for the best proxies. Data Type G in chat, summon Gresh. G in chat, summon Gresh, everyone. Okay, we have been summoned. Uh, yeah, 4 minutes ago, will we get to quality? I mean, this is the for Monaco. A lot of you are saying this is the where everything happens. Basically, this is the order that if you get pole, you're a 90% chance of winning this race. Way things are going. Well, hopefully that's not the case this year. One of the things that we've got to new this year with Monaco is that it's a two-stop mandatory race. People are asking, is Hamilton's car okay for quality? It looks like it is. Um, from what I've been seen so far, it looks like it is. The other thing that's different about Monaco this year is that the soft tire is a new C6 compound. So we normally have used C5, C4, C3. And last year, when everyone won after the red flag last year, everyone onto the hard tire, which was a C3 qualify C3 tire. Not hard tires, C4 this year. Our soft, our medium is the C5, which we normally think is as our soft. We have a new softer tire than a C6. Um, in Imola, when we saw it last year, it was not performing as well. People they were actually finding ways to do better on the C5 on the medium tire on the C5 than the C6. Um, Monaco's a little different. Monaco is a slower track. Track is half as long as most F1 tracks. I mean, it is the shortest track in the F1 calendar, and there's a lot of grandfather things. They would never allow a Monaco style track ever again, F1. So basically, Monaco is grandfathered in being Monaco. So we've got 18 minutes on the clock for Q1. We're about a minute, 45 seconds away to that green light. Again, welcome to the Race Statistics family. This is, again, I'm looking at YouTube at the moment, but we're also on Twitch. Excuse me. Again, we're about a minute and 18 seconds away from green light. One of the big things that we're going to have to deal with in Q1 is that traffic is going to be a huge issue. Og's asking, do we have a Discord? Yes, we do. And the link should be in chat in any moment now. So if you can watch Formula One live on TV, and why should you watch this live stream from this channel? Because we are an alternate to the commentary. Because there's a community of people here that are interested in F1, and that if you wanted to learn more, this is a great place to learn. Because we'll ask, you'll ask questions, we'll answer them. So we are about any moment now going green light. It's about 5 to 10 minutes between each qualifying session, but there are scenarios um, that may delay going into the next session. So we already got the Williams out. Albon, Sainz, Ocon, Behrman, Haas, Gasly of the Williams, Colpino, Colpino. Excuse me, I can't pronounce his name correct today. I am a little bit off. I'm suffering from allergies that are in this area. And we already got 1 minute into this session. Everyone's still on outlaps right now. It will be another minute or so. No, 30 seconds before Albon finishes his lap and then goes on to his first flying lap. We wait for Albon's about to turn 18, turn 19, onto the start finish line. Hamilton is coming out, so he has been repaired. That was expected. It wasn't a major crash. It was more he basically lost a tire and scraped the side of the car, but it didn't look like any damage was done to the car other than the wheel. Right now we've got Albin coming around. He's now already on turn 14 on his flying lap. You might have to deal with Alonso at the very end of this lap. Right now, track temperature is 41 degrees Celsius, 21 air temperature is 21. Humidity is 59 degrees, and that's to be expected. They mean that they are by the coast. Here comes Albin. He's the first one to do a flying lap. He's going to do a 122. That's not a good time. Science does a 120. Alcon does a 115.292. I'm thinking that with those 120s, I think they're doing a second go around on those soft tires to get them into place. Alcon is a 115. Behrman is a 114.5. I mean, these are we were seeing 111. Hulkenberg was a 113. These are not exactly great times. Not representative. We were seeing like 112s, 111s earlier today. So Rello does a 113.494. Clark is on a flying lap. So is Hamilton. Sonoda. Alonso is on a flying lap. Yeah, here we go. Sainz and Albon are now actually on proper laps at this point. Albon goes to the top board 113.153. That's still high. Sainz is a 113.6. Comes Alonso, does a 132. So he's now doing a flying lap. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc's coming around the vast second sector. He does a 113.063. Gap is 0.09. Hamilton comes up to P6. We still have yet to see Sonoda is going to come down across the line. He has a 127, so that's not exactly. He's probably doing another lap. Lawson, top of the board, 112.96. He's a 1.17 faster than Leclerc. You have seen them go faster though. Antonelli does a 113.001. Yeah, we're seeing like we saw 111s at the end of FP3. So I don't know if they're just holding back. Right now, Norris, Oscar, Russell, and Verstappen are the only ones who have not set times. Alonso sets a P4, 113.6069. He's 1.23 off Lawson's pace. Stroll, top of the board, 112.878. Ocon goes to P7, 113.166. Behrman does P2. He's only 1/1000th behind Stroll. Tsunoda goes P4. He's 81,000 behind Stroll. Stroll on top. They did stop the count, I guess. Gasly does 18 thousandths behind Stroll, P3. Fast at third sector. We've yet to see the Papaya, Russell, and Verstappen. Colhino goes to P13.6. Hulkenberg goes to P6, 111. We've got 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this session. Norris goes top of the board with 112.860. Only 18 thousandths faster than Stroll. Fast at third sector. Oscar just went to 112.493, so that's 4/10 faster. A little more closer to what we were seeing earlier. Hamilton's on a flying lap. Russell's on a potential flying lap. So is Max just starting flying lap, and Sainz potentially on a flying lap. Albon goes to P2. He's 0.35 behind Oscar. Sainz improves in his time. P2, 2.42 behind Oscar. Let's see, Hamilton comes to Leclerc. Leclerc is on a flying lap. He goes back to the top of the board, 112.091. So Oscar drops back to 348. Hamilton goes to P2, 245 behind Leclerc. Got Russell come to the line. Russell goes fourth. He's 485 behind Leclerc. Comes Gasly. Lawson coming around. Lawson coming to P5, 0.522, so half a second behind Leclerc. Leclerc starting now, flying lap. Here comes Verstappen. He's about to finish this lap. He goes to the top of the board with a 111.92. So that's the time that Leclerc put approximately around. He fastest through vector 6.3. That's the time that Leclerc put in an FP1 approximately. Isaac went to P7. He's 7/10 off of Max's time now. Clark is only 0.71. Alonso to P3, 3.889, 4/10 behind Verstappen's time. Right now, we've got Hulkenberg, Antonelli, Ocon, Colapino, Borrell in the drop zone. Tsunoda at risk. Tsunoda did 112.9. Ocon just jumps up to P6, 112.513. Behrman to P5, 4/10 behind. That's a 112.384. So that puts Tsunoda in the drop zone, Hulkenberg, Antonelli, Colapino, Borrell, and then Gasly. Gasly now in the drop zone. Stroll, a driver at risk. Tsunoda P6.477. We got Norris on a new flying lap, and we've got Oscar on a new flying lap. Colapino gets to 13.8 behind. Hulkenberg gets to 12th. Got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this session. Gasly is pitted, Lawson's pitted. Norris is to the top of the board, 111.589. That's 3/10 faster than Max's time. Borrell to 9th. It's a 112.446. Is that going to be good enough? Oscar jumps to P2. He's 2/10 behind his teammate. It's a 111.791. Antonelli goes to 112.383, P7. Albon goes to P5, 112.220. See, Leclerc is now on a new flying lap. Verstappen on a new flying lap. Sainz goes to 6, 112.272. I think Sainz might be safe. Leclerc goes to P2. He's only 10th and a half behind Norris's time. It's 111.752. Hamilton does a 112.053. That should get him in Q2. What are we looking at? We got people. Bambi is currently 10th at 7.88. Tsunoda is 8/10 behind. Tsunoda's time is a 112.397. I think you need to be under 12.2, 12.1 maybe to be safe to get into Q. Let me even think about that one more time. I think 2 might be too much. I think you need to be at 1 minute 12 seconds, 0.3. So I would put at Lonzo. I would say Sainz is probably safe. Lonzo potentially at risk. So is Antonelli. Yeah, that's where a good number of people are at that cut line at the 10th. That may be too high. Maybe below 112.4 maybe. It would be a good cut line. Ooh. Stroll can't tell the difference between cars in the sun. Oh, Bartolo scraped the wall. He didn't touch the wall. He was so close to it. Russell goes to P3, 111.758. That will be good to get him to Q2. Again, right now, Stroll is the driver at risk. Lawson, Isaac, Hulkenberg, Colpino, Gasly are in the drop zone right now. They are all on track except for Stroll. Stroll right now has done 112.563. Ocon has done a 112.513 for 14th. The next driver who potentially at risk. Hulkenberg is on a flying lap. Oscar's gone to the top of the board with 111.358. Again, that's top of the board right now is not going to matter because they're going to go around and do this again in Q2 and Q3. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about who's on top at the moment. I mean, you could pick Leclerc right now and it wouldn't matter if you get into Q2. I mean, Verstappen's already in the pit. He's not going to come out again. Hulkenberg goes P6. That's a 111.893. That should get him into Q2. We got 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in this session. So potential for do a lap now and then a lap afterwards. Stroll is dropped into the drop zone. So is Ocon. Isaac has gone to a 111.953. That should get him into Q2. Antonelli goes to P6, 111.880. Hamilton's on a flying lap. Comes Stroll. He is on an out lap, so this would be a flying lap. Ocon just goes to P6, 111.839. Wow, where the time tumbling? I think you got to get into the 111s to at least be safe. Clerk to the top of the board, fastest for sector improvement to other sectors. He does a 111.292. So this is just bragging rights. Who took Q1 in Q1? Here comes Behrman. And does not improve. Did he abandon the lap? Gasly goes P12. He does 112.237. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. So he's doing a lap at the moment. Hamilton is pitted. And he's now coming back out. Lawson just went to P13, 112.256. Yeah, I think I remember my originally to 12.2. Isaac is gone. I know that's Noda gone 111.930. So that's 7/10 off of Clark's time. So P11 through P15 are in the 112s. 10th is 111. Alvin just went to P4, 111.6929. That pushes Isaac, who's the highest in the 111th, to 11 right now. Science is coming around. He is P15 driver at risk, but he's improved Sector 1, Sector 2. Science goes up P15 with 111.70, so 707. That puts Lawson driver risk 15. Barlow, Alonso, Behrman, Stroll, Colpino are at risk right now with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in this session. There's enough time for everyone to get around to do another flying lap. So Gasly has just started a flying lap with 1:11 to go. So this is we'll put him in. Behrman's is on flying lap right now. Max is on a flying lap. This is for bragging rights, though. We are under a minute now in this session, so Hamilton just crossed the line, Hulkenberg just crossed the line, Lawson crossed the line. Alonso 17th crossing the line, Ocon coming across the line. Norris, Oscar, Tsunoda crossing the line. These are people who are now starting would be flying laps. So we're going to get a lot of flying laps at the very end. Dearman's got to deal with traffic. Oh man, a lot of traffic. Dearman right now is 18th. He's coming to the line. Sent past like 5 cars. He's going to jump up to 13th. That's going to be a 111.9. So definitely you got to be in the 111 right now. It will probably be a 111.8. This probably will be safe. Gasly just went 14th, 111.994. That may not be enough. Max moving to P3 doesn't help the bottom of the board. Comes Hamilton. Hamilton jumps to P4. He was driver at risk. Hulkenberg goes to 10th. Comes Lawson. Lawson goes to P9. He was in the drop zone. So Gasly is going to be eliminated. Alonso goes to P7. Behrman is going to be eliminated. So we see Borrello, Stroll, and Colpino. So it goes to 10th. Isaac's 15th. Borrello goes to 15th, but Isaac's still on his flying lap. He's improved. Borrello, Isaac goes to 11th. That's going to knock out Borrello. Comes Russell. Russell goes to 5th. We have a yellow flag. And why? Is it Antonelli? It's a red flag. I believe that's, yep, Antonelli's in the wall. And so that's going to neutralize everything. Time has stopped. So so that will actually kill, Stroll is going to pit because his lap was basically good in the can. So we know Bortolotto, Behrman, Gasly, Stroll, Colpino are going to be eliminated. Antonelli's 15th will be 15th on the grid. And my record goes to 4. I have streak of 4 now. We had a red flag in FP1. We had 2 red flags in FP2. We had a red flag at the end of FP3. We now have a red flag in qualifying 1. My streak. Where's the cheese counter? Oh my God! I am now on a streak of four red sessions with 4 red flags. And we could get another one tomorrow. Yep, Antonelli crashed. I'm watching it. He goes basically into the wall. He goes around the chicane and can't make the curve. Goes straight into the wall. Don't congratulate me. Not yet. My record is 6. I'm just on a good streak right now. Uh, and so Q1 ended with a red flag. And that happens with when time had ended. So that basically, like, Albon was on a potentially fast lap. He was 7th. That was bragging rights. Again, Bartolo, Behrman, Gasly, Stroll, Colpino. Stroll might have gotten out of Q1 with his lap. The red flag came in the middle of Sector 2, and he was doing particularly well in Sector 2. Um, I gotta say, I heard someone said that he was late breaking his car makes it seconds faster than others. I think actually work with as legal in the sport. Yeah, that's part of the sport. If you are braking later than others and making those turns faster, means you're leading. Obviously Q2 will be delayed. That's race controls because they've got to. Oh wow, he's wedged his car into the wall. They're trying to get it out. Anthony's okay. He's out of the car and he's being walked back by the docks. Shot from a boat, obviously. Annually technically is not eliminated from Q1, but he won't take part in Q2, so he will ultimately qualify 15th. Behrman qualifies 17th, so this is the other thing we need to take into account. Behrman qualifies 17th. Um, Stroll is going to qualify 19th. So we know Colapino is going to get a spot based on Stroll's going to drop to 20th based on where Colapino is going, or based on where things are. So Colapino is going to be right now. So in the math right now, Colapino is 19th, Stroll is 20th. Then we'll apply Behrman's 20 place drop. That will move um, Gasly up to 17th, Colapino to 18th. Am I doing the math right? Yeah. Yeah, Gasly to 17th. Colapino will be um, yeah, Colapino will be 18th. Stroll will move up to 19th, and then Behrman will be 20th on the grid. So again, how they're going to qualify and how they're going to be set up on the grid, particularly in this back area, there's going to be a shuffle with positions. Q2 start. We know Q2 is delayed. We don't know when Q2 is going to start. Right now, they are fixing the tech throw barrier and getting. They've gotten his car off the wall, out of the barrier, so to say. Um, so it's a matter of when they get the barriers back into place. Is Kimmy okay? Yeah, Kimmy's fine. He got out of the car and was able to walk back. He walked back by the marina back to the pits. Yeah, Kimmy's okay. Is there any problem for Kimmy? No. I mean, he hit the wall. That brought out the red flag. Everyone in what if someone doesn't qualify? So if they don't even set a time in Q1, the next big thing is, and they're sending cars out. So Q2 will start at 16:29. That's in 4 minutes. They just yeah. Yeah, Kimmy will start P15 tomorrow because he won't. He technically got into Q2, but he won't take part in Q2, so he will qualify last, which will be P15. Now, if someone doesn't make it, doesn't set a time in Q1, the next thing is they look at their times in. They make sure they do a qualifying time in the practice sessions. Girly comment here: each team has at least a couple of great looking crew members. That's very true. We've got the flag counter in the row. Now, if I get another, just so we understand the rules here, if I get another red flag in Q2 or Q3, that won't count towards the streak. I'm actually on 5 red flags this weekend. When Q start, it should starting in about 2 minutes. We need another engine hit Helly in the wall. There's a brick in the wall joke there, and I can't make it right now. How bad was the crash? Is he okay? It was nose in the wall. More ego bruised than car damage. No more than Hamilton um or even Oscar's issue. Filipino's job is to not to crack. Yeah, literally, like right now with all the rookies. I mean, with Isaac Lawson right now, their jobs really is just to not crash, and to get the car into the next, get into the next session. I mean, Isaac is 11, Lawson is 12th right now. I mean, they're ahead of Ocon Hulkenberg at the moment. NFL can't wait for these ground effects cars are gone. No, I mean 26 will be a different ball game. I mean, I've actually enjoyed these cars. Particularly these past, end of last year into this year, they're actually really close together in terms of racing. So I've been enjoying that racing. Um, the 26 regulations will be are bad. No, they're not bad. I mean, they're different. I mean, part of the regulations is they basically, and we are now gone to Q2 right now. We've gone green light. Hulkenberg is going to be the first out. Albon is second. 15 minutes on the clock for Q2. We've already started. The goals of the 2026 regulations is to improve, to make the engines less complex. That's intended to bring in new manufacturers. So that's how we're going to get GM via Cadillac. The other thing in play is that they're also trying to get the car smaller, and that's another piece of the and that's a long term goal to get the car lighter, smaller, back to they were where they were 2 decades ago essentially, and that's going to take a long time. That's gonna you gotta hack at that bit by bit over each regulation change. They're also getting rid of DRS in favor of what's called active aero. So essentially, there'll be places where they can enable what would be the DRS feature, and the active arrows are going to be on both the back wing and the front wing as well. So it's going to be again a new ball game. It's going to be very different. It's more than just DRS because there's rules on when you can use DRS, and there's different rules for the active arrow. It's a very different system. So got Arthur Clark and the Ferrari judge looking over as his brother taking control of things right now. Pretty much everyone who's going to be, except for everyone, is on track right now who is going to take part in the session. So we only are going to have 14 drivers. Antonelli will be automatically considered knocked out because his car he won't be continuing with in this session. Yeah, the idea is the point is reduced drag. It's just how that does it, is based on where the car is on the track. So if it's on a straight, it's going to open up when it comes to the curve. That will come into play. So it's not like with DRS, you have to be within range of someone in order to get that DRS effect later on the track. So Stroll is part of Aston Martin, not Alpine, Neil. So we've got 112s on the board. First 111, 111.8. That may be not good enough to survive. Lawson is a 111.6. Clerk right now with a second sector. Clerk just finished at 111.3. Fastest second and third sector. That's been taken away by Norris. Oscar's got the first sector. Lawson P2, Alonso P3, Hamilton P4 right now. Ocon P5, now P6. Isaac goes P3, 111.666. Nice. Norris does a 110.959. So that's the 3.5 tenths faster than Leclerc. So we did see the 110s in at the end of FP3. That I don't. I mean, you could pit Norris right now and he'd be fine. Norris has the fastest sector and third sector. Verstappen just went P2 fastest third sector from Norris, and he's 111.124. He's basically 165 behind Norris. Sainz goes a tenth. Puts it currently the driver at risk at the moment. That's a 112. Yellow flag and Russell. Russell is stopped. Russell has something's happened to him in the red flag. Russell has hit the wall. He is stopped in the tunnel. Russell has stopped in the tunnel. He must have hit something. Enough of those Fs. Please put G's in chats for me, guys. Stop doing Fs. Put G's. This is not. Call of Duty. Oh wow. Okay, so Q2 we now have another red flag. X's are also okay. No, not X. Well, yeah, I mean, season for forecasters, they're all pushing right now, and any mistake at all is going to cause an accident in here. What does the G stand for? Crash. Because F is the key you click on in Call of Duty, and I have history at Activision. Let's just say that. Oh no, I see the top right corner. Yeah, no. For Red Flags Road, brought to you by Crash. If anyone knows someone who wants to sponsor these red flag sessions, get a hold of me. Get on Discord. Get a hold of me. So again, we are. Oh, Alonso's lap time was deleted. That's did not know you could get a track time deleted at turn one. Did Russell crash? Yeah, he did. He crashed and he stopped the car. His car is stopped, and he is. So George is okay. He's in the car and is being pushed by Stewart's, and he's kind of He's kind of steering the car with his wheel. So they're going to push the car out. And here we go. We're watching what happened with Russell. Good return. So something struck the floor. So somewhere in sector one, Russell hit something, and he lost power in the car, and it just ultimately he ended up stopping in the tunnel. So it's something in sector one he hit, and the car just lost power. Um, and then right now the marshals are pushing the car back to the pits at this point. So, unlike, let's see what Lollipop Man makes of this. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, Marvin. He's being pushed out of the tunnel, and he's being pushed back to the pits at this point. So we're now waiting for him to get for the car to get back to where it needs to be. Be a couple minutes now. So as it stands right now, Russell is 14th. So he's not going to make it at. So technically, he's not going to make it at Q3. I mean Q2. There's 10 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. So when we start, so when again, the clock has stopped in qualifying. We haven't passed anyone again. Ouch, that's mean, Rowan. Yeah, so while we're waiting, there were two decision documents. Nothing happened out of result of them. They looked at Colapino passing on the red flags, but basically they said when the red flag happened, that pass was going to happen anyway based on position, time delta, speed delta. That was going to happen regardless when the red flag was flown. They went back and looked at a scenario in practice two that was brought to the steward's attention with Carlos Sainz. Now that's interesting because Carlos basically Behrman passed Carlos Sainz in P2 to bring out, to get his penalty. And the stewards looked at that and basically said the same thing. Given where he was, his speed, he did slow down, did what he needed to, but when that flag happened, he was going to. There was nothing. It was that pass was going to happen regardless of the red flag. There was no. There was that was going to happen. Why is clock stopped though? Is because in qualification, red flag stops the timer for quali. In practice, red flags don't stop the clock. So practice preseason testing, clock does not stop. Yeah, track is clear. I guess Q2 was on at 16:44, so that's in about 2.5 minutes. So does Behrman still have the 10 position grid penalty? Yes, he does, Holly. So Behrman's going to start P20. Stroll's going to start P19. Colpino's going to gain 2 positions. He's going to end up starting um, 18th. Gasly's going to start P18 in that result. What's your total record? So for red flags in a row, my record has been six sessions in a row with a red flag. How about 10 red flags? I got that in pretty much got that in Japan this year. Now it's actually four for exit flow. So for this weekend, we're looking at it's been 5 red flags this weekend alone. Now, granted, I got 4 red flags in one session in Japan this year. So there's that record to be had at some point. Now, granted, those two of those red flags ended up being the track caught on fire. Don't worry, one day you won't get any red flags. Oh yeah, I called it the races. What the reason I got 6 in a row is because when this happened 2 years ago, so I wasn't doing quali or races. So I'd get red flag in practice. Something happens in practice, red flag comes out. And so I had a streak of six sessions, practice sessions that I was doing. Um, but I wasn't doing quality. I wasn't doing the race. So because I wasn't do on stream, those don't count against me. It was weird because this year with it was Japan where we were getting fires at the racetrack. The year before we were seeing that happen in China. So found pointing out it's over when it's over. Sweden USA 2-6 final. Oh, that's cool. Good for the USA. So we're about ready to go again. Track is green. They've lined up on pit lane. We're just waiting for that green light. Yeah, Isaac and Watson fourth and fifth right now. Right now we're looking at you got to be in the 111s to be safe, and even still below 111.8. So Alonso Hulkenberg on the bubble still. I wouldn't put Hamilton and Sainz safe at 112s. Maybe 1.8, maybe 1.8, maybe 111.9 is where you need to be at least. We'll see. We'll see. We've started our time again, so we've got 9 minutes 30 seconds to go. Green light. Q2 has started again. Will Sainz out qualify Hamilton? Um, mm, that's a good question. He might. It's possible, but we'll see. We'll see at this moment. So it's like Hulkenberg was the first one to go out. He's going to be the first one to go around and start a lap. Snow's still in the pit. Russell, yeah, he's the one. So we know that Mercedes is going to take up 14, 15. So we only have to worry about three drivers now. Sainz is the driver at risk. Ocon, Tsunoda, Oscar right now, the drivers at risk. But Oscar really hasn't set a time. He did a 128. Same with Tsunoda, 127. Those are not representative times. Why is Oscar so? Because he hasn't set an actual flying lap. Yeah, there is a tactic that you go around that you don't when you come out your out lap. There is a tactic and strategy where you do another lap to warm up your tires again to get them to the right temperature, right range, and then on that third lap you do the actual flying lap. Norris is coming out. Verstappen's in the pit because Verstappen doesn't need to come out and do a lap. I'm surprised that they're sending Norris out. I mean, the only reason you send Norris out is to be a moving chicane. And Isaac just moved up to fourth. Now that he was already he was seventh, I believe. So he was already safe. Comes with Clerk. Clerk's going to come across P1 110.581. That's 3.87 faster than Norris's time. that's going to be safe. I'm not sure why they're going to keep Leclerc out. Hamilton just went P2. He's 3 tenths behind his teammate with 110.883. Comes Alonso. Alonso was on a slow lap. Oscar's going to jump to P4. So there we go. We got Ferrari went to McLaren 3-4. Oscar does a 110.961. So that will. Albon moves up to P5, 111.071. That should be safe. Hulkenberg right now is the driver at risk. He's in the pit. Sainz is 11. Ocon is 12. Sainz just went 7th to 111.362. Right now, Snow is on an out lap. Ocon and Hulkenberg are in the pits. We got 5 minutes, 33 minutes, 5 minutes and 33 seconds left to go in this session. Tsunoda is going to come around. He does not improve in his time. This might be the flying lap for Yuki. Watson on a flying lap, Alonso on a flying lap, and so is Norris. Comes Alonso. Alonso moves up to P7. That's going to be a 111.254. That's. I don't know if that's enough. It should be. Norris takes top of the board 110.570. That's 11th 0.011. So 11 thousandths faster than Leclerc. Max coming out? Max is coming out. That's interesting. Yuki on a flying lap. This is the actual flying. So you did two laps around. Watson goes to P9 that puts Isaac to 10th. Here comes Yuki. There's enough time to come in pits and get new tires. Soda goes to 10th. Oh, that's disappointing. 111.415. That is drops Isaac by three thousandths of a second. Pushes Isaac down. Yuki's gonna have to go around again and do another lap. Yeah, I think for everyone, Albon down because this is gonna get crazy. So we got people to come out do. So Isaac and Hulkenberg are in the pits. Why are they still in the pits? I mean, it's a short track. You can give it more time, but they will need to come out in the next 90 seconds. Sainz's lap time was deleted. Sainz right now is P8 with a 111.362. He's currently on out lap right now, so that we'll see. Is Alonso going? Verstappen's going on a fast lap. Leclerc's going on a fast lap. Norris on a fast lap. These are not going to affect who gets knocked out. So yeah, Max shouldn't, even with his current time right now, he shouldn't be knocked out. Take a look. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc proves his time, not his position. It's only one. No, he doesn't improve. It does improve in time. He's slightly slower by a few thousandths. Comes Alonso. And Alonso improves in his time but not position. Norris doesn't improve time. Here comes Max. Max jumps to P3 on the board. So right now we've got Sainz at point 111.362. Lawson is 386, and Tsunoda driver S is 415. Isaac is 4 and 18. So we're looking at somewhere below 111.2. Definitely 111.3 to 111.2 is that cut line is where it's probably going to end up being. Oscar does not improve. He's close, but not quite. Only a few thousandths difference between, less than a tenth between his best lap and his last lap. We've got Hulkenberg improving. Ocon now improving. And Leclerc is in the pits. That's that's obvious at this point. There's no point of him going around again. Here comes Hulkenberg. Comes across the line, and this is going to bake him in, and he's going to get knocked out. So Ocon right now is improving. He's doing marginally better than Hulkenberg. He is doing. Is it enough though? Improves in sector 3, but I'm not sure it's enough. We'll see. Oscar coming around. 15 seconds to go. Oscar could go around if he wants. Comes Archon. He's going to get it to P8. So that's going to put Tsunoda in risk. Here comes Lawson. He's P10 right now. Lawson goes up to 8th. So that puts Sainz at risk. Tsunoda's in the drop zone. Here goes Isaac. He's 11th. He's going to go to 10th. So that puts Sainz and Tsunoda down. Albon goes to P4. That's going to drop, again, Sainz and Tsunoda. Sainz does not make it. Here comes Tsunoda. He's P12. And he does not make it as well. And that's going to be Q2. Basically, we've got Sainz, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Russell, Antonelli being eliminated in Q2. Again, Russell and Antonelli via hitting the wall. Russell because of an issue that needed where he lost power in the car. Hulkenberg does a 111.5. Tsunoda ends up being a 111.4. And Sainz is 11.3 is his lap time. Again, Ocon is 10th. Oscar did go around and improves to P4. That's bragging rights that he's ahead of Max. He's ahead of Max by 1/100th of a second, by the way. That's interesting. So in Q3, so again, you're listening to the Racing Statistics channel. We have Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Oscar, Verstappen, Hamilton, Isaac, Alonso, Lawson, and Ocon all making it into Q3. Yeah, you heard that right. A Haas, both of the Racing Bulls, one of the Aston Martins made it into Q3. Both Ferraris, both McLarens, one of the Williams, and Verstappen made it into Q3. So this is going to be already. This is an interesting. We're going to get an interesting top of the board. Is Sainz washed? No. No, I think Sainz is got the same issue with Tsunoda. They're in new teams. Yeah, I mean they're in different teams this year. Technically same for Hulkenberg, but I mean at least with Hulkenberg, I mean we know that Hulkenberg's car is trash. I mean Sauber has not. They've been taking steps to improve, but it's just not enough improvement to be fully competitive. I mean that's. I mean at least Hulkenberg has got into Q2. Imagine if Hulk stayed Haas. Yeah. Um. I. I mean, you could swap Akon and Hulkenberg. If Akon was in the Sauber and Hulkenberg stayed at Haas, you could flip the order with those two right now. You could see Hulkenberg into Q3 and Ocon not making the Q3. Again, you listen to the Race Tickets channel. This is Grashariza giving you live coverage of qualifying. We have gone through Q1, Q2 right now. Borel, Behrman, Gasly, Stroll, Colpino were knocked out in Q1. Antonelli would bring that session to close prematurely with a red flag. He would not take part in Q2. Russell would have an issue on track. He would finish, he would qualify P14. That would leave Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, and Sainz being knocked out. And that's leaving us with Norris at the top of the chart, Leclerc P2, Albon P3, Oscar P4, Max P5, Hamilton P6. And these are all within 3/10, about 3/10, and Hamilton's 3/10 and 13 thousandths. Isaac would make it in, Alonso would make it in, Lawson would make it into Q3, and Ocon would make it in. And it was a gap of 6.292 from Norris to Ocon. Again, 111.622 was the cut line. I remember hearing that it's mandatory to use three different compounds. No, not in normal qualifying. You're thinking of the sprint qualifying where a tire is mandatory for each of the qualifying sessions. So it's like medium, medium, soft, or it's medium, soft, soft, depending on how Pirelli is dishing out tires. We're at like 181 likes right now on YouTube. We're almost to 1,000. Mercedes out? Yes, Mercedes out. They have qualified 14, 15. So again, with grid drop penalties, Behrman's going to start 20th on the grid. Stroll is going to be 19th. Colpino is going to be 18th, and Gasly is going to be 17th on the grid tomorrow. And that's if we don't get any more penalties. Q3 will start in 17:03, so it's about 2 minutes right before we start again. Just looking at what you guys are saying over in Twitch chat right now. No, for sorry, the crash last year was with Hulkenberg, Magnussen, and Checo. Hi, Varelli. Thank you. I see you're adding me on Twitch chat. No worries, no worries. It's easy to get them. You got the right team, wrong driver. Yeah, Albon's up there. Albon is in P3. Let's see. No, it wasn't Checo's fault. It was Magnussen's fault. Magnussen was trying to get around Checo, and then took him out, and then took out his teammate at the same time. And you can go back. Hulkenberg was not happy with Magnussen at all. Are we going for another red flag? No, please. 12 minutes is on the clock for Q3. And they're starting to line up right now. And they're about to start at any moment now with the next minute. And they have No, it's just them lining up the end of the pit lane. Um, no, you can fault Magnussen because he did it poorly. Love the red flags in the center. Daniel, get ready for a shock poll. Oh, that it could happen. I mean, a shock being it's not Lando, Leclerc, or Max, or even Oscar would be a shock. Albon being on pole would be a shock. Oscar being on pole a shock. Anyone other than Lando, Max, and Leclerc right now would be a shock on pole. Um, don't know what the risk of rain tomorrow. It was a 27% risk right today. I don't think I haven't heard anything about. I haven't heard anything about tomorrow's weather, so I don't think they're expecting to be a normal race. Given that they've got to do a 2 pit stop tomorrow, which is different from what last. So that's how last year would have been fixed because we would have had the red flag. They would have gone into the pits. They put on new tires. They would all still have a pit stop to do during the race. So that still would have kept some strategy in the race. F3DS saying there was only a chance of rain today. Tomorrow is pretty clear. Thank you. So right now, everyone is out except for Verstappen and Lawson, though Albon has just come back into the pits. So we have got 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this session. Again, we are in Q3. Ocon does a 127. That's not a representative lap. That's just because he's the first one to go out. Oscar is shock. That's because Lando's actually been faster this session for the most part. Um, I would think that it would be Amanaki giving 5 memberships. Thank you. So Han, Ektar, I cannot pronounce who the third person who got it. Fourth person who got it, you guys have kanji in your name, so I can't pronounce it. My apologies. Then gives me MC. You guys got um, gifts. Thank you. And we have not got any representative laps right now. Everyone is on track right now as it stands. They do have enough time to go around, do a lap, come back into the pits, make a change, put new tires on, and then go back again. So that is in place. What am I guessing are tires tomorrow? It's going to be red. Oh, they've been issued so many red tires. We'll be lucky if a team has to. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who is going to who's used what tires. We'll see. Again, I'm going to look. One of the things I'm going to look for is who has what tires left after quali. But most of the teams are going to be using a rip because it's a two-stop track. It's a mandatory two-stop. Ooh, did Norris bounce off the wall? He's going fast. So Norris does a 110.464. Oscar does a 110.531. Leclerc is a 110.63. Hamilton is fourth, 110.986. Isaac is a 112. That's not gonna do you any good, my friend. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too much of a shock if Oscar at the pole. It's just he was number 4 looking on the inside. Here comes Alonso. Alonso goes P6. on 111. Albin Lawson goes P7. Oscar's pitted, so is Norris. I would expect that the Ferraris would go around. Here comes Max. He is the only one right now on a flying lap. Hamilton's pitted as expected. Max comes to the line. He goes P4. He does a 110.669. Albin is right now only one on track who's on a flying lap. So expect people to come into the pits, put new tires on, and go back out. Albin has improved in Sector 1. He's doing well in Sector 2. He's got clean air. There's no traffic in front of him right now. So this is a great time for him to put in a lap. He does improve in Sector 2. Watson's pitting. Here comes Albin around 18, 19. He's coming to the line now. And Albin moves to P6. He's a 111.213. Again, 110 is where we are right now with lap times in the top 5. So Max is pitted. The only one on track right now is Albin, but he's on a cool down lap. He's most likely going to pit at the end of this lap. And here comes the McLaren's coming out of the pits. Pulling Max in the pits now. McLaren's not illegal. Stop it. FIA check the cars. They know what they're doing with it. It's not illegal because Red Bull can't figure out what they're doing. I think Hamilton hits. Yeah, I think he might have hit the barrier for a moment or brushed it. No crash, silly Russell. Hope he's all good. No, Russell's fine. What happened with Russell's car is that somewhere in Sector 1, something hit. It sounded like it hit the bottom of the car, and from there something dislodged, and Russell lost power in the engine, and ultimately he came to a stop in Sector 2 in the tunnel. Yeah, given the size of the track, I suspect that we're going to see reds for the rest of qualifying. We're under 4 minutes now, so we got Oscar and Norris on track right now. They've just finished their outlaps. See if Oscar improves just by a little bit in Sector 3. Fastest first sector. Comes Norris. Norris is going to take that away from him by 7 thousandths of a second. So Oscar and Norris are coming out now, making a charge while there's very little traffic. Oscar might have to deal with Ocon. Norris is not going to have to deal with anyone. To France Herman. Oh, I'm going to enjoy France Herman the rest of this year. Oscar setting fastest second sector, but I think Norris is probably going faster. No, he keeps it. So Oscar's gone P1 110.1470. Here comes Norris. So Oscar on provisional pole. Here comes Norris. Norris on provisional pole. So Norris takes sector 1, sector 3. Yeah, Oscar had to deal with Ocon, and that might have just scrolled the lap on him. Yeah, he didn't improve in sector two, sector three. The difference of 15 thousandths between Oscar and Norris. So right now, Norris on provisional pole. Both of them have enough time to go around and then do another flying lap. Yeah, here comes Lawson. Lawson's probably going to have to do his flying lap now. Same with Isaac. Isaac is coming to the line now. Hamilton coming through 18, 19. Then Leclerc. Hamilton will be the next doing a flying lap, and then will be Leclerc. I doubt that they will have enough time to go around. Yeah, they won't have they won't have enough time to do a lap and then go around unless they decide to go around now. Yeah, no, they're going for it. So Hamilton, then Leclerc. Comes Verstappen. Osser going around. Comes Norris. Norris is going to go start a flying lap. So Lawson's got Alonso ahead of Alonso is on a lap. It will start a flying lap. Here's Lawson. Lawson's going to be locked in at 6 right now. Here's Albon. He's going to start a flying lap, and then Isaac coming around. Isaac jumps up to P5, pushes Lawson to 7th. 37 seconds to go in this session, so these times are being locked in. Hamilton is P3. That's locked in. Here comes Leclerc. He has the fastest second sector. He has improved in first. Leclerc to the top of the board, 110.63. Provisional pole. Ocon goes to 7th. That's locking him in. Right now, Leclerc on provisional pole. Here comes Max. What would Max do? Max does not improve. He lost it in the second sector. So Max is P5. Comes Oscar. Oscar does not improve. Comes Norris. Norris goes to top of the board. So Norris is on pole. Leclerc second. Comes Alonso. He's improved in all the sectors. He only goes up to 7. That is it. Norris taking pole. Leclerc second. Gap was 1.09 between those two. It's a good gap for. Oscar comes in third, 1.75. Hamilton 4.28. So it's McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari, Verstappen. Isaac Ajah comes in P6 ahead of Alonso. Ocon 8th, Lawson 9th, Albon 10th. And that is your qualification, Q3. Sainz was 11th, Tsunoda 12th, Hulkenberg 13th. Russell, by losing power, was knocked out. Qualifies 14th. Antonelli ended Q1 with a red flag. He ended up 15th. Bortolao is 16th. Now this is where things get weird. Behrman is qualified 17th. He will start 20th though. Gasly's going to be qualified 18th. Will start 17th though. Colapino, who qualified 20th, will start 18th. Stroll will drop a place, but then will get that place back by Behrman dropping to 20th. And that is your qualification for the Monaco Grand Prix. Norris on pole, Leclerc second. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting tomorrow. For everyone here at Racing Statistics, I want to thank everyone who's shown up. Whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch, you were listening to us anywhere else, thank you. We will be back tomorrow for the Grand Prix itself. And again, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with how things go. Um, it is the crown jewel weekend of motorsports. So again, we have Monaco, which is one of the crown jewels. We also have the Indianapolis 500, and that has Robert Schwartzman on pole. Prema, first year in IndyCar with rookie Robert Schwartzman is on pole for Indianapolis 500. Sato is on that row, and so is O'Ward. Um, yeah, Newgarden, the two defending, is on the back row due to penalties, and that's another question for another time. So yeah, this is going to be a crazy weekend for motorsports. So we'll take care, everyone. We will see you tomorrow for the Grand Prix. Have fun. Take care. See you tomorrow.